All right. Don, it's about time for a new phone, man. Good Lord. Sucker's beat up, man. All right.
Coach, how do you feel like the bye week went for you guys as a defense?
I think it went well. You know, it's a well-needed bye week. A lot of things we had to clean up and work on, and a lot of, you would say, some new guys to the room. You guys know about DJ and even with Outlaw and Nunez getting some more reps. Those guys need some work, and a lot of older guys needed work. So we needed it. A lot of things we had to clean up.
You wanted to get more production out of your depth guys all year long. So during the bye week, do you feel like there were any guys that stood out, or you feel like they're making a step forward?
Yeah, I think our back end, I think our corners, I think they had a good week. Even in D-line, like I said, I think all those guys needed that. You know, we don't have a lot of depth at a lot of positions, and so this was a chance to even evaluate some young guys that are red-shirted and guys that's going to help us in the future to start, you know, sprinkling those guys in on some stuff. And yeah, it was a well-needed week, and for a lot of guys that were banged up, you know, Sam McGuavin, DA, all these guys that and a lot of guys that have some nixes and stuff to get healthy.
With the uncertainty at quarterback for Oklahoma, how does that change the way you guys prepare this year?
Big time. You know, number 9, he can do it all, throw, run. I mean, you always got to. He seems like every quarterback every week that we play has that threat of running the football. But even the backup kid can run a little bit, but that guy's he's a dang good quarterback. So Trevor. So our game plan, yeah, will change depending on who's in, and we got to be prepared for both of them. So it does. It changes. Same thing with the receiver. You know, certainly he's a dang good kid too. So you know, want to top in the Big 12. So we got to know where he's at, and our game plans around him as well.
Likely facing another big rushing attack.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done to get him a little tougher?
Yeah, same. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing we say every week. You know, they're gonna come here and try to run it on us. So, you know, we're just building the package where we're gonna stop the run first. You know, right now it's what we're trying to do. Then they start attacking us on the outside. So we got to be sound at what we do. We got to be, you know, disciplined up front, and it's all about technique and continuing getting better. You know, last week was a good week with the bye week, getting those guys to get off of blocks. You know, just simple, you know, basic football stuff. Same side rip, offhand fallback. You know, all that stuff, and you know, locking out your elbows. I mean, just things that might sound, you know, silly, but things that we got to get back to fundamentals. So, yeah, they're gonna. I mean, there's no secret. They're gonna come in here and try to run it on us, and we'll find out how tough these guys are in the stretch.
When was DJ's first practice on the defensive side of the ball?
Monday. Last Monday. So we had just kind of a walk-through practice, but started installing our stuff, and you know, we kept it, you know, when he was in there, pretty simple, which we are pretty simple. So it's good. I mean, that's what you want at corner. I think that's for us recruiting. It's hard for us to find a kid that's, you know, 6'2", 6'1", that can run, good feet at corner, because it's tough for us to recruit those kind of kids. So that's usually what we do. We look at receivers and stuff like that, but for what he looks like, that's what you want. You know, now he's got to get the toughness part. I'm not saying he's not tough, but it's different, obviously, on offense and defense. He's got to stick his head in there. But right now, we need him to cover and make plays when the ball's in the air, and stuff that we've been struggling at. So, but I'm glad to have him in the room. I think it's a good competition. I think competition makes a football team. I mean, nobody can get comfortable. I don't care who you are, and when you add an athlete like him in the room, it makes it more competitive in there, and we need that kind of competitiveness all the way across the board. I think right now there's a tendency guys do get comfortable because there's nobody behind them, and that's never good. So more guys, more athletes we can get on defense, we'll take. I'll never turn down a kid if he's a good kid and he can run and he's athletic and does the right thing. So, and DJ does all those things, so I'm excited to have him on defense.
Did you have a sense of the attitude of your unit and the defensive squad in terms of where they are mentally right now for the 3-6 record?
Yeah, I think they're still tough. I think they still fight. You know, am I happy with the way we're performing? No. But will our guys turn down a fight? No. So as long as they keep that mindset and that mentality, I'm fine. But you know, you just got to stay on them every day. I mean, they're still kids. You know, even on the bye week, they'll go out there and, you know, be slow a little bit and kind of want to coast through it. And you just got to get on them and keep them pushing. But no, they're good kids. They'll fight. So we're fine on that standpoint. And you know, it's funny. I was laying in bed last night thinking about it. With the Jets, they're 1-8 playing the Steelers, and Ben Roethlisberger's as hot as he ever could be. And look at those guys fight. It's kind of my message today. I mean, those guys are 1-8, and I know just about everybody on that roster, about 5 people, and they're getting after their tail. So a lot of it's just having pride, being a man and having pride and don't give up, no matter what the circumstance is or whatever. So that's kind of the message these next 3 games, and just find out what kind of men we are and how much pride you have for yourself and this university. So.
The bye week went for you guys as an offense, and what did you just kind of think about getting some of the younger guys more reps the last week and just kind of where those guys were at?
Yeah, I think it's always good to get, with Cameron and Ian and even those outside guys, all those sophomores, it's good for them to see a ton of reps as always, and got them all in the mix and just treated it kind of like a normal week and let them compete a little bit more, went good on good a little bit more, let them see a little bit more speed. And and then a couple guys that, we used the week to get healthy, Marquez and Jakeem have been beaten up a little bit, so it's good for those older guys to get a week off and, see the training room a lot more and let their bodies heal a little bit.
Decision a little bit to have DJ go over and move to defense?
Yeah, just, thought it was the best for the team right now. And, DJ's really fired up about it. And a big, long guy, DJ's 190 pounds right now, which most people don't know, and, 6 feet tall. And so give you some length and some speed out there. And he did a good job. All the receivers were telling him he was cheating all week because he knows the signals. But, he started turning his back to the other side before the play started. But DJ has a good attitude, and, I think it could, in the future, be a really good move for the football program.
Speaking of signals, Baker Mayfield's going to be on the opposite sideline. Did y'all change signals from when he was here, or do you plan to change specifically for this game or anything?
Yeah, we have, and throughout the season, there's so many people that run this offense or have been a part of it now in this conference, going from West Virginia, Coach Holgerson, and Coach Cumbie over at TCU and Baker there. So, it's been a process where we've done it every week. We change some of our main signals and some of our calls to the offensive line, so we'll continue to do that to try to keep them off guard. And, too, we're using quite a bit of dummy signals, too, right now, which will, get them out of looking to steal it if we can hit them with some of those dummies, which we did early in the game against TCU. So.
How big of a storyline is that? Do you feel like that might be overblown or not? Do you feel like that's
Which part of it?
just the idea that Mayfield might steal the signals for OU?
Yeah, we've changed a ton of them. I mean, we're aware of that, and so we know he'll know what we're doing. So we've changed some stuff and mixed some of our run stuff with pass stuff to kind of give him the opposite of what he thinks it is.
Do you think the dummy signals worked against TCU?
Yeah, they work throughout the year. I mean, we do it from time to time. Plug up a call where he goes up and give a signal, and whatever he gives, that's a dead signal, and you'll continue to run what you called in the huddle. So, yeah, I mean, it's something that we've done here for a long time, and we'll continue to do it.
Coach, at times I know coaches think of situations a little different than one another. What's your thoughts on the quarterback situation, your quarterback situation right now?
Yeah, just one of them's got to step up and make plays. We haven't seen enough of Pat, I don't think, to really get a great judgment on him. The first 3 series, I thought he did some really good things. He started feeling the game, slowing down, extended a couple plays, made some good throws off his back foot. And then Davis just needs to get healthy, and they need to compete out there. So, I think the jury's still in the air. I mean, Davis has had a ton of playing times, a ton of games around here, and he's done some really good things, and then he's had some situations which haven't been very good. So, like we've said all year, I mean, he's got to continue to learn from it, and then, I think the jury's still on Pat.
Which of the two has looked the best and most ready to play over the last week?
I think the same. I mean, Davis has obviously got so many more reps here. I think the communication aspect of it and him feeling comfortable in the huddles a little bit, you can tell he's been here for a year and a half longer than Pat has. Pat's got some great instincts. You know, he's kind of got that sixth sense, that it factor where he feels pressure around him pretty good and feels it during the game. You know, kind of like the TCU play where he scrambles and makes that little flip. I mean, that's something that he's good at, and he was during scrimmages early on in fall camp. So yeah, we'll see which one of them's ready to go. We'll see which one of them practiced better this week, and I think, you know, Coach will make that decision.
So is
Go
that
down the
what
wire.
it comes down to is which one practices better this week as to who starts on Saturday?
You know, I don't know. Coach Kingsbury will make that decision. That's his room, and he has a great feel of how those guys are doing, both mentally and physically right now. And so Coach Kingsbury will make that decision.
With all you having a really talented front, I guess what concerns you about those guys, especially in the front seven?
Yeah, I mean, I think having Jordan Phillips back this year, I mean, he's a big, strong guy that really flashes a ton on tape. It's tough for one person to block him. You know, I think when he's at the nose and people try to single him up with just the center, that's where it gives people fits. A bunch of people try to get double teams on him, and then they try to, you know, bring Stryker away from that. And so, you know, Stryker hasn't had as good of a year on paper as what he did last year, but I think because everybody's kind of game planning around it and they're sliding to him and chipping him and doing some different things to him. So, you know, 19's always a guy we'll have to be aware of where he's at on the field because he's a pretty explosive player. So, yeah, we'll have our hands cut up. We'll have it cut out for us up front. They'll have to play well this week, and we'll have to get some run game established early, and we're gonna continue to try to do that.